My name is Jeremiah. Thanks for watching my YouTube video. Like and subscribe and share on all your social media platforms. This message is to all religions. It doesn't matter what religion you are, what faith you are, what ethnicity you are. This message is to all religions. God's people need to take a stand and protect God's people. According to every country in the world census, there are more God's people on this earth than Satan's people. However, all Satan's people working together to put pressure on God's people. And all God's people are divided. I know y'all feel the pressure, or they say, I know you feel the vibes. Divided we fall, united we stand. All religions teach how to live a holy life. And every religion holy book teaches you how to live a holy life. That means a holy prophet wrote that book. And we need to come together and agree to disagree, not to, because everybody gonna agree on the same thing, but we have one common thing. We all worship God. All right? And if all God's people, just for instance, whatever your neighborhood is, however how big it is, if all God's people from every religious church, synagogue, mosque, patrol, come together. If you go to, let's just say it's a mosque in a couple of churches and a couple of synagogues. If you go to every one of those places of God's houses and ask if there are any men that would like to patrol the neighborhood and protect the neighborhood, you will have a couple people that'll do that, and then you will build a body, and then you will have a protection. Because I remember when I was in New York and people were trying to break in my crib, the police couldn't get there in time. So the police left, they was doing it 10 seconds later. And the police was like, I know they was tired of coming there. They ain't say it, but they was willing to help, but at the same time, it's probably tired of coming. And they ain't come one cop, they came like 8 cops. Because I fear for my life. I told the police that somebody shot at me in the crib. And so they came deep. Then I called them again. Then I called the ambulance until the ambulance, I was having the, what did I tell the ambulance? I called the ambulance and said that I told the ambulance that I was having an overdose. And one time, I think 2 times, and then the third time, I think I told them I was feeling suicidal. And I said that so they could get there right away because there was no way I would have made it out of there. I felt like the whole apartment building was on demon time and it was all trying to get at me. I didn't even tell the people that owned the building because I felt like they was all in it. Like, how the heck they get a key to my apartment if they're not all in it? All right. And so now all God's people are divided. But if we all stick together, united, we stand. Divided, we fall. All right. Now hold on. All right. All God's people from this neighborhood need to have soldiers of God to protect this neighborhood. I mean, men licensed to carry. So all God's people need to do is, so all God's people in this neighborhood need to do is send a text to the soldiers of God that are protecting the neighborhood, because the cops ain't gonna come that quick. Sometimes they won't. Sometimes they do. But sometimes you can't even talk on the phone. Somebody trying to break in your crib. You can send a text to the brothers. If you see something fishy going on in your neighborhood, let the brothers know to come through there. The cops can't be everywhere. You think that listen, I'm pretty sure some cops are under pressure too. All right, and they're overwhelmed by all these cop calls. That's why you see in every city or every state, you see cops posted with the lights on running. Those are what you call safety zones. So if anybody needs to run, they can run there. All right. So boom. That happened to me so much. People kept trying to break in my crib that I had to leave the whole state because I ain't had no money. And I couldn't go to the shelter because when I was in the shelter, the guys were saying, hey, you can't live here unless you're doing a gay act. And if you try to hop in the shower, they try to rape you in the shower. Then they try to jump on you, all right, get you up out of there, fight you so you can leave. That's what's going on in a lot of shelters. I even, you know what I'm saying? And so if some people are going from this shelter to a whole nother shelter to figure out it's the same thing going on in this shelter that's going on in the last shelter, going to a whole nother state to find out the same thing from this state, going to this state. All right? People start to lose hope. People start to lose faith. People stop believing in God. And they went to city, state to state, and the same thing is going on everywhere. And they can never get back on their feet because they don't have enough money. Because they didn't spend it all traveling in the hotels and stuff, trying to find a place just to get to a new crib. How you move to a new crib from a whole nother state and people trying to break in your new crib? All right? Get you some cameras inside and outside. Get you some guns. All right? To protect yourself. All right? So, I know I'm not the only one who heard of this or has been going through this. Everybody's feeling the pressure, all right? So, hold on 1 second. Let me turn the page. Okay. I left that city to only find out that the same thing is going on in the next city I'm going to, which left me like, well, hold on, maybe the Great Tribulation is about to happen. Or the Great Rapture is about to happen. That's what I was hoping for. Matthew chapter 5, verse 13, Jesus says, if the salt loses its flavor, if the salt loses its flavor, how can it be seasoned? And he said, you, God's people, are the salt. So I don't believe in the rapture. Plus, I don't believe in the rapture because Revelations chapter 12 says that Satan comes out of heaven and makes war with Israel. And we use the word, the woman that gave birth to the male child was called to heaven. But there's a place prepared for Israel. Then he makes war with the rest of the people who keep the saints, who keep the commandments. He makes war with the saints who keep God's commandments. So if Satan makes war with God's people who keep the commandments, then I don't believe in the rapture. And if I do believe in the rapture, I only believe in 144,000 are going to go. This year, next year coming up, during the Jewish holiday called the blowing of trumpets. All right. So now, boom. If you keep going to city, eventually, okay, boom. So now, everybody's going from city to city, losing hope, losing faith, and eventually, they just say bump it and join the gang or join the team. You know, some people are being pressured, saying, "I'll kill your family. I'll kill you if you don't join the game." All right, boom. They like bump it. I want to live. I want to survive. I'm joining. I got a family to take care of. All right. This is how they continue to get their numbers up. All right. And now it's time to take a stand. And when I mean take a stand, doesn't mean war. I mean a peaceful stand. Protection. Okay. Eventually, if you don't take a stand, eventually you won't have a neighborhood to run to or a city to run to because everybody in the whole neighborhood or the whole city will be on demon time. All right. Eventually, you won't be able to go to a store with not everybody being on demon time and they trying to rob you or rape you or do some crazy stuff. Eventually, you won't be able to go to work if everybody's on demon time, all right? Because they ain't gonna let you work unless you join a group. And I feel like I've seen a lot of businesses got their windows or something smashed out, broken out, and then the people just left and the business never opened back up. So I feel like they probably under pressure too. I'm not 100% sure. So matter of fact, I did hear somebody run down on the business before, and he said it to him. I don't know if he was joking on the plane or not. And he said, yo, y'all got to give us some money or y'all can't stay here. It's my right-handed guy. I heard that. And also mentioned You know, the games, not all the games. Some games are different. I know demon time and Satan time is different timing because some of them is different. I don't really know, but I do know they got tags. So I do feel like some of these businesses, not all of them, are paying these gains because I see a tag outside or inside the business. Now I ain't seen them too many inside, but I only see one tag in the inside. All right, meaning the store owners with the gain, I guess, or pressure to be. I don't know. Anyhow, eventually you ain't gonna have nowhere to run to. You're gonna have to leave the country. A lot of other countries have had refugees leave their country. Now I know every country is different. Some countries was taken over by Satan's kingdom, and some people just was refugees because of whatever happened. All right. Now, America, we're the home of the brave. We must stand up and protect each other. All right. In other countries, y'all are God's people, so I need to stand up and protect each other. Now, this is how we're gonna do this. And if we take a stand, we're gonna have to lead a country. Now, taking a stand does not mean going to war. All right? Taking a stand means this. You that's listening to me, go to your pastor and explain to him that y'all need the church congregation needs a team to protect the members. All right? If he doesn't say that, ask a couple other people in the congregation what do they feel about that. All right? Then if that doesn't work, you might want to go to a different church. You know, because if he can't do that, I mean, I understand because he might be under pressure or she might be under pressure and they're under pressure. Then it's time for you to take the initiative and ask all the other members in the church who wants to be riding around to protect the neighborhood and protect the members. At least, I know some churches is in different neighborhoods. Everybody's from a different neighborhood. But you should at least have a person, a team on the church or the synagogue or the mosque, a team of members that you can text that's going to come over there because we know the police don't come quick enough sometimes. All right? And sometimes you can't call the police. If somebody breaking your crib, you don't want them to know that where you're at in your crib. You got to text them. All right? Boom. Now, then, if that works, what I suggest is you go to all other religious faculty buildings in your neighborhood. I will go to the Jewish synagogue, go to the mosque, go to all the Christians, people in there and stand up in the congregation or just ask the pastor first. And if not, pass out flyers and ask everybody what men is willing to do this, protect and patrol the neighborhood. But I mean, literally, because if we don't, we're going to have to leave the country. And when I mean patrol, I mean, for the most part, I've been seeing a lot of break-ins and kidnappings and all type of stuff in between 11 to 7 in the morning. That's when they're most active because in the morning time, people are outside and about and the people will help other people. So what we need is, let's just say, two guys in every little neighborhood. If it's a big neighborhood, maybe 4 guys just riding around for one. If I had a church and I had 50 members, I will grab at least 8 guys. That's 7 guys. That's 8 guys that's willing to be on this team. And if you just have one guy, well, I would say 2 guys. You don't want one guy going by himself. I would have 2 guys go out at 11 o'clock, riding around, just in case anybody texts. They ain't got to run and get in the car. They're already in the car. They can just run over there to the people and protect them. Then, so you don't wear them out, let them go back to sleep. And then have another 2 guys come out for another hour. Then another 2 guys come out all the way from 11 to 7. This is what we have to do, brothers and sisters. If you don't, then I don't know what to say. All right? Get you some guns. If you can't do that, make sure everybody in your congregation got guns and cameras. All right? Now, then after you do that, go to all the other faculty religious places, and you should get at least 4 or 5 guys from each place that willing to protect and patrol the neighborhood. Boom. Then, if that doesn't work, I really don't suggest this, but if you have, if you walk the door to door to each neighborhood, if you walk from door to door in your neighborhood and you ask people and use the spirit of discernment by looking at them, the game, the demon time, Satan time, look, talk to them and see what timing they're on. And if they're on that time, then you don't talk to them. First he's knocking on the door. I would knock on the door and be like, hey, my man of God, they don't want to hear about it. Boom. Then boom, go to the next door. Eventually, you're going to build a team. And as we, as God's people, start to patrol and protect our neighborhood, God's people will start having faith and hope and believing in God again, because some people don't. All right? And eventually, Ezekiel chapter 33, and another place in Ezekiel, I think it's 18, Ezekiel 18, it says, if a righteous man stops living a righteous life and starts living a wicked life, all of his righteousness will not be remembered, and he will die in his sin and go to hell. And if a wicked man stops living a wicked life and starts living a righteous life, he will make it to heaven. Eventually, the people that were pressured and forced to join the game, that are really God's people, once we build a team up, they're going to join God's people too. And they're going to be on the team too, because they know they have protection. And this is how we will set up God's kingdom on the earth, because every religion teaches that there will be peace on this earth and that God's kingdom will be throughout the whole earth. Daniel chapter 2 says, there'll be 4 kingdoms on this earth that will rule the whole earth. Right now, Satan is ruling the earth for the most part. God's ruling the earth, but God is allowing Satan's people to rule the whole earth right now, to bring us all together to the true truth. All right? It's 3,004,026 different religions, and I study all of them. They all teach that there will be peace on earth. They all teach that one man will bring peace on this earth. All right? So now this is only a little bit skimmed, okay? You have to go watch my other YouTube video called Strategies, How to Set Up God's Kingdom on Earth. Strategies, How to Set Up God's Kingdom on Earth. And in there I give about 40 to 50, 100 different strategies, like a game of chess. Then I have another YouTube video you need to watch. It's called How Satan Kingdom Works. And you need to know how Satan Kingdom works, so you can utilize the other video, the strategies of how we will set up God's kingdom on the earth. Daniel chapter 2. And God repeated it. The same exact thing in Daniel chapter 2. It says in Daniel chapter 7, it says the same exact thing. If God said it and he repeated it, then he meant it. God's kingdom will be set up on this earth, and it will be peacefully. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be all peace. We will have peace. We're not going to go to war with anybody. But as we start to build the kingdom up, I'm pretty sure there will be a little friction. Hopefully there won't be. And some people that don't even go to church will start going to church. Or some people don't go to the mosque will start going to the mosque. Some people that go to the synagogue will go to the synagogue. All right? And as we start to set up God's kingdom on this earth, like it says in the scriptures and the prophecy, it's only going to get better. But it says in the Bible, it's like a woman giving birth pains. It's going to get worse. But when a woman is having a baby, it gets worse, till she have contractions. As she pushing, it gets worse. Then boom, she has the baby, and everything is all happy. So I feel like that's how, and it says that in the scriptures, like a child in birth pains. So it's going to get a little bit better. And I think once that happens, I believe in my heart, in my whole heart, that once God's kingdom gets set up on this earth, then we're going to go through the Great Tribulation for 3.5 years. Or we already in a Great Tribulation. I don't even know. All right? If you ever get a chance, go watch my other YouTube video on my other YouTube channel. Type in how to have all 7 gifts of the Holy Spirit. And in that YouTube video, I teach you how to prophecy, how to speak in tongues, how to cast out demons, how to perform miracles, how to healing, speaking in tongues, prophecy, miracles, healing, wonders. And I teach you step by step. Also, watch my other YouTube video on my other YouTube channel. It's Jeremiah the Messenger on my other YouTube channel. It's called How to Get Your Prayers Answered Immediately. And in there, I go through, it's a big difference between, you have major prophets who could prophet. You have major prophets, you have prophets who could just prophesy. Then you had some prophets who could cast out demons. And he had some who could perform miracles. Elijah prayed on God and immediately fire came down from heaven. Elijah healed people. Moses turned his stick into a snake. Paul and other people in the Bible, they did these miracles. And the reason why this is, remember, everybody was pagan back in the day. If it wasn't for them doing those miracles, they wouldn't have believed and became Christians or Jewish. All right? So you could do that too. And as you exert your remedies, I explained that in the video, how to get your prayers answered immediately. And God, I pray that whoever's watching this has a spirit of discernment and they discern and they spread God's message. And I love y'all. And thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and share on all your social media platforms. Amen.